Hey everybody, welcome back to Inspire Podcast. My name is Caleb, his name's Chris. Today we're going to be coming out of Matthew chapter 14, verse 22 to the end of the chapter. If y'all ain't familiar with this this passage, this is right after he gave them the fish and the bread, and he sent them away, told them to go on the boat and go to the other side. So they weren't expecting what was about to happen. So we start in verse 22. And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit, and they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, not afraid.
As Jesus sent them, as he went up to the mountain to pray, they didn't realize that they was fixing to go through a test of faith. And now he just led them to feeding 5,000. I think it states 5,000 were fed, but there was more than that, because when you count the children, and I think it was talking about 5,000 men, but then you got the women and children, so there's a lot that was being fed with just a few fishes and some bread. But now Jesus went up to pray. They on the boat, and of course the waves are tossing, and of course Jesus is not with them. So now they're afraid because they don't know what's going on. The fourth watch, I believe, is around 3 o'clock in the morning, between 3 and 6. So it's real early in the morning. They're out there on this ship, and the waves are tossing, and Jesus is not with them. So of course they're afraid, and that shows our faith. Even back then, when Jesus was with them, everything was easier. But when he stepped aside, when he wasn't where they could see him or touch him, then of course their faith grew weak, and that's why we don't physically get to walk with Jesus, but we walk with him in the spirit. So that's why our faith becomes greater, because you don't get to touch him and feel him like they did, but we know he's there. So their faith is being tested here, because here it is, all the waves tossing in their fear. They're thinking they're going to die, and where's Jesus at? Where's he at to save us?
And that's when he come on the water. And crazy, like all these miracles they have seen before then, and all of a sudden another one comes. And Jesus is walking on water to them. So it's just, they're realizing the glory and how powerful Jesus really is. But even still even after all the things they've seen, they still have little faith. And you'll see it right here. And Peter answered him, said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? So the reason why I picked this lesson is because we're entering a new year, and we're going to be going through some things in this year. Last year it wasn't as bad as 2020, but every year is going to get worse, because that's what the Bible tells us. So it's coming to an end. So you're going to go through a lot of things this year, and don't be like Peter. Don't focus on what's around you. Keep looking forward into Jesus, because once you look at the waves and you look at the storm around you, you're going to be submerged in it, just like Peter. He dropped down to the sea, took his eyes off the Lord. So if we keep the eyes on the Lord, everything else is going to take care of itself. That's why you just put him first.
Yeah, don't focus on the problem. Don't focus on what's around. You focus on the main thing, and that's Jesus. That's where we get our faith. We can't overcome things, but with the Lord, we can overcome anything. So when we keep our eyes on the Lord, just like Peter, when he was out there walking to Jesus, the waves boisterous and tossing to and fro, and the wind, and he looked at the surroundings, and he took his eyes off the Lord, and he went down. That's when we get weak, when we take our eyes off the Lord. Keep your eyes on the Lord. Keep praying. Keep trusting the Lord. And you're going to overcome it. Just like we overcome last year, we're going to overcome this year. No matter what comes at us, no matter what trials or tribulations comes in 2022, we're going to overcome just like we overcome last year. So you hold on to the Word of God and you keep your eyes focused on the Lord and don't focus on what's going on around you.
And when they were come unto the ship, the wind ceased. Then they were that on the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth thou art the Son of God. And when they were gone over, they came into the land of Gennesaret. And when the men of that place had the knowledge of him, they sent out into all the country round about, and brought him to that were deceased, and besought him that they might only touch the hem of his garment, and as many as touched were made perfectly whole. So, if the Lord can walk on water, make Peter walk on water, and save Peter at the same time, feed thousands of people with
twice. I mean, did 2 times
with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, and have leftovers, and heal the sick by not doing nothing, just letting them touch him. What more can he do for us if we just watch him? I mean, if he has the power to just calm the seas and the weather. If y'all ain't never been out fishing on a bad day in the sea, it's pretty bad. So if he has control of the wind and the weather, he can take care of our little problems. It's just a little itty bitty thing to him.
If the wind and the seas hear his voice and calm, he can control that. And then there ain't nothing he can't do. I mean, Lord, simply feed that many people, and not only did he feed that many people, they even took up scraps, even had plenty that left over. You know, I'm gonna tell you that's how powerful our God is, and that's why we need to have faith in him. And no matter what comes your way, you just continue to hold on to the Lord. A little bit of faith will help you grow stronger. And so, as he told Peter here, "O thou of little faith," you know, we got to continue our faith grows stronger as we get closer to the Lord, as you keep reading and study, as you trust the Lord more, and you go through problems and trials and the things that we go through in life. The more you go through it and the more faith you get stronger, the easier it becomes. But it's never you're gonna have doubt at times, but that's when you need to really trust the Lord, and he will help you get over these things that we have to go through. The sicknesses and the problems, the trial, the evilness that's upon this world. You keep trusting in the Lord. You be of good cheer and be not afraid, because if you're a child of God, you're protected, and the Lord's going to be there to watch over you and to take care of you. And
take Peter as an example, because we all fall short. Peter fell short here. He fell short when Jesus was going to get crucified. He denied him 3 times. But how did he die? He died for the Lord. So we're all going to fall short. But in the end, if you keep following the Lord and putting him first, you will have no fear like Peter. Because, I mean, he fell short. But in the end, what did he do? He died for the Lord. So he had the ultimate faith.
Pretty much all the disciples but one. One died of old age. The rest of them all died martyr deaths. And they all died for the Lord. You know, they trusted the Lord. They believed in the Lord. And, you know, and because of that, they've been blessed. I mean, when we give our life to the Lord, you trust in Jesus. He's going to take care of us, because remember, he said he would never leave us, nor would he ever forsake us. He's always there with us, and he's going to comfort us. He's going to take care of us. So, and that brings your faith into action. We can't see him, but we know he's there. You know, and that's greater faith, to believe in something you can't see, instead of like Peter. He only believed when he could see Jesus. You know, we don't get to see Jesus physically, but we see him spiritually. We know he's there. And that's how your faith is greater, because you believe in something that you can't see. Until that day comes, he brings us home. Hold fast. You know, be of good cheer, and just trust the Lord, and he's gonna help you through whatever you go through. And he's gonna get us through this year. And he's gonna get us through the next year. Until he comes back, the Lord's gonna take care of us and be with us.
All right, well, we thank y'all for tuning in this week. This is another year for us, 2nd year for us, and it's going to be a good year. And I hope y'all have a blessed year. And just remember, don't look at the storm, look at Jesus.
Don't look at surroundings. Focus on the Lord, because He's got control of everything. So Happy New Year.
All right, you have a blessed week.